Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for March 8th. We are looking at the US-Japanese yen pair. This particular pair broke previous resistance. It did close down for the day, did fill the very small gap that was created at the open of the new week. We are looking for this pair to continue overall moving sideways with a bias that is sideways. Look for it to potentially move as high as 9070 and hit resistance there, while moving lower, possibly down to 89.75 and hitting support at that level. Now, the Euro USD, this particular pair moved much higher, closed 1 pip down for the session. Overall, this pair is moving sideways with a bias that is sideways. Look for it to potentially go as high as 137.67, possibly as low as 135.26. Look for some resistance around 13700 and look for some support around 135.92. Now, looking at the pound US dollar pair, this pair closed down, did break previous resistance, is moving sideways overall. Look for it to potentially go as high as 152.76 and look for it to potentially move to the downside to 49.33. Look for some resistance around 151.95 and look for some support around 149.88. Now, looking at the US Swiss, this pair closed even today. It did break previous support from the previous bar. It did come down and tag pretty much some previous support on the downside before pulling back to close even. This pair is moving sideways overall with a bias that is sideways. Look for it to potentially go as high as 10807, possibly as low as 10627. Look for some resistance around 10771 and look for some support around 10675. Now, as far as news announcements goes, we have the Swiss releasing their consumer price index for February at 3:15 a.m. Eastern Time. And the consensus is that it's at 1.0%. We also have the pound releasing their gross domestic product estimates for February. No consensus given, no time given. Previous was 0.4%. Now, let's take a look at the Euro USD pair. This particular pair did create a swing trade setup over the past 3 bars. Looking for a breakout up to this point. It's about a 35 pip move if you buy on the break of the trend line up. And then we also have this other area of resistance that the pair could go to. Let's go ahead and draw a little bit straighter lines, be able to take a better look at this particular trade. Okay. So if we get a breakout at this point up to here, we got about a 35 pip move to the next area of resistance is about 70, and then on up to about 90, 91 area as far as moving to the upside. Not sure if it'll get there, but nonetheless, you could trail your stop loss up. We do have some other areas if you continue up that would be of significance on the way up, potentially as high as 150 pips. Of course, that would be a pretty decent breakout to the upside. Currently down just a little bit, so definitely keep an eye on this. At very least, you should be able to pull 30 pips out of this move between here and here. If you do want to try to grab more at that point, go to break even and go ahead and trail up each resistance line as it hits it on your way up. Well, that pretty much wraps us up for today. So until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.